Welcome back to part 2, everyone. I'm still Nick Izumi.
Arcemise.
And I have always been Rena Innocenti. That might change.
I guess we're going to open up part 2 with a discussion of the characters in Gundam Unicorn. Let's start with our two leads, Banagher Lynx. Thoughts?
Fun kid. Knows how to fight. Holy crap.
I love his hair.
He has the Camille Badan hair going on, which is kind of great.
No, it is a nice hair love child between Amuro and Camille.
Yeah, I can see that.
That is a good description of it.
Because it's got the poofy of Amuro's hair and the nice tameness of Camille's. And it's a natural hair color, which is totally unlike either one of them, so...
He's a really great lead, if you ask me so far. It's impressive that he can fight both hand-to-hand and with a mobile suit, which is pretty rare. But also, it feels to me like they're not just making him a teenager to make him a teenager. They're really playing with that. Like, the look on his face seemed legitimately teenager to me.
Yeah, compared to, like, the other the protagonists that we've had over the years, like, I never thought Amuro was, like, what was he, 16 in the original?
He was, like, 15, 16.
15. Like, maybe it was just because he was tall, as everybody else on the ship, but, like, he always had a very mature look about him.
He seemed older.
Yeah, he seemed older than he was.
Except in the first movie, whatever, he seemed younger. But then again, he was an idiot and a jerk.
Just like Camille. Although Camille always came off as a kid to me. I don't know what was up with him.
Camille never aged past 14 in my mind.
I can see that.
He just
didn't.
He is...
More so because he didn't really have a mature outlook on anything.
Banagher is interesting because he has that immature outlook, but he's also willing to call out adults when they're being stupid.
Yeah.
Like he's got a teenager's mentality, like a teenager who's gone through horrible things but knows what to do about it.
Yeah.
He is definitely, he's going to, it's clear the events ahead of him are going to be scary, but he's not going to pull a Kira Yamato on us and, sink into a corner and cry for 20 minutes about it. I feel like he knows that he has a hard trip ahead of him, but he's willing to take it. The end of the first episode, he sums it up really well. Mom, Dad, I'm sorry, but I have to go. Yeah, he's a really interesting protagonist. Even though he got to do a Macross scene, which most Gundam characters don't get to do.
It was pretty awesome.
It was.
And of course, in that scene, he reaches out to save Audrey Byrne. So... Audrey is, of course, our female protagonist, and
who couldn't possibly be somebody else that we may have known the name of.
So she's Mina Wasabi.
Spoiler, no.
Yeah, it's
pretty obvious.
If you looked at her, it was automatically a spoiler.
Yeah.
So what are you guys' thoughts on Mineva as she's grown up?
I just love how she gets her alias here, in that they're, like, walking down the street, and they see two movies. I don't know if you remember the titles of the movies.
The title of the movie is Runaway Princess, and she's and like I think the other one is like False Name or something like that. The false title. And of course, the Runaway Princess. They probably just couldn't actually say it, but it looks like the poster for Roman Holiday. So of course she picks the name Audrey Byrne, as in Audrey Hepburn.
Which is what I started calling her after that. When we figured that out. But, yeah, she's been pretty fun. Holy cow, is she mature for how old she is. She's 16.
My favorite part was how she was introduced. How she didn't even have a name yet, but we knew who she was.
Mm-hmm.
How she was on the ship, and they were wailing on the ship. And she was all calm and collected, and like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get this normal suit on, because I'm cool.
And beam blasts and exploding mobile suits have been her lullaby since she was a little kid. I mean, she was... I want to say she was born, like, just before the Battle of Solomon. And... Yeah. I mean, what a way to start out your life.
And if you can't tell she's Mineva Zabi from that scene, Something is wrong with you.
You bring up a really good point, Rena. Yeah, it makes it clear, and she's grown up so much. If you remember her in Zeta Gundam, she was really crying a lot of the time. She was really scared, and I'm not putting her down for it. She was like 7.
Yeah, they were pretty much using her as a puppet entity. Haman Karn was pretty much controlling her at that point. And
yeah, and she's
grown up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
She's taking life. She's just taking it by the throat, and she's taking control of her life. And it's kind of interesting to see out of her. I really like where they're going with her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if we're going to get an expansion on her relationship with Banagher. I hope for it.
Because what's Gundam without a little bit of strange romance?
Unless they're going for the Macross love triangle approach.
Or they're going for, or they're going for Tomino's version, where he doesn't know how to write a romance. Where the darn. Although Mikat, yeah, she seems to like Banagher too, so that's.
She talks to him, though he doesn't seem to listen. We're kind of hitting him for that. Dude, a girl is talking to you.
Mikat's cute.
She is. She's wonderful.
Back to Audrey.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that I like her outfit except for her 4-like bag that she wears.
Yeah, she has like this poncho dress. It's kind of horrible.
The shirt underneath is just as bad, but I'd rather wear it without the purple thing on top. Granted, it could be the chick from Mashar's counterattack that no one likes.
Quest.
Yes.
Oh, I think I remember
Quest
her.
Pariah.
Quest Pariah. She had Miku hair before there was Miku.
She did, didn't she?
And I hate them both. Hate.
Well, yeah, Audrey's purple bag thing that she wears, I'm not a big fan of it. But other than that, she really fits in with the 80s anime style and kind of makes me happy for the fact that I would wear what she's wearing.
Everyone looks 80s, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the character designs look like they fit into the timeline. I know, I mentioned before we recorded I was going to bring this up. When Rena and I were watching old Gundam over the summer, we tried watching 8th Team, and we really couldn't get through it because Rena kept pointing out that the 8th Team character designs don't look 80s at all. But they're supposed to be shoehorned.
Mid to late 90s style.
And they're supposed to be shoehorning them into that original Gundam mythos, and yeah, it was weird. And this is not that at all. This is very expressive, very 80s. Everyone has poofy hair.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has poofy hair. I like
and cowboy boots for the main character.
Gotta get your cowboy boots on.
Alright, next character then?
Yeah, let's move on to...
The fanboy, actually, is the next character on the list.
Oh, the personification of Mr. Izumi.
I was about to say, all we really need to mention about Takuya is that it's me. If you've talked to me, or actually just watch my YouTube channel, or if you live in Wisconsin and go to anime conventions, come to my Gundam
some
panel.
Glasses and then he'll actually kind of look like you.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's distressing.
but to, like, for those that don't know us as well. Yeah. For those that don't know us as well, like, in the scene where the mechs, like, enter this colony, and he's part of this class that's running away from it, he spots one of the mobile suits, and he's like, hey, that looks like a Fetty...
a Federation Rizal, and he names off the ID number just like I do, and I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah, so that pretty much sums him up. He's really fun to have around.
And then there's Mikat.
Mikat's...
I just love everything about her. She's more or less my personification if I had to come to If I were to choose any, it would be her.
She has great fashion sense. She kind of has that girl next door vibe for Banaga, and it seems like he's not really that receptive to her. So
I like how you keep changing the pronunciation of Banagher's name.
I was just noticing that too.
Banaga, Banager, Banana
in the
Banana
Japanese,
Nana Fofana.
Yeah, in the Japanese it was Banaji. was kind of how they were pronouncing it, right?
Yeah, they were saying something like Banaji.
Yeah.
And then in the English dub, like the 14 minutes I saw of it online, they were like Banager. So, pardon my pronunciation.
Yeah, forgive
terror.
us.
Like, bananas in pajamas are coming down the... What the hell does that have to do with anything?
Banana Fana Faux Fana. That is his name now.
Nice. And the last one on our...
I just imagine Vonnegut in a banana costume.
On our civilian
boy.
list. It's Haro. Haro is back.
I like that he like tells it to do a countdown or something, makes it sound like it's about to self-destruct. And then it doesn't, but it's still pretty funny.
Haro is back. I think that's all we really need to know. He's still green. He's still wonderful. And our lead character uses him pretty smartly. I was impressed.
Haro was the way that we know that Vonnegut has this background in
Computing,
mechanics and stuff.
He programs the Haro.
Without looking at it.
Yeah, it's impressive.
One-handed, just going off on the side.
Again, we have a lead character with skills. I like that.
Mm-hmm.